Hello all, thank you for being here. I'm Vedang Lockhande and this is a presentation on Blender tutorial basics. First of all, I'll show some basic commands on Blender and then we'll do hands-on and make a low poly house on Blender. And later on, we'll convert it into .de and .kmz and run it on Google Earth. Okay, so let's get started. So on Blender, you'll have something called mesh that are 3D models. Okay, and you can insert those mesh using Shift A on your keyboard. The shapes are like cube, cylinder, sphere, and then you modify them to make something that you want. So this region on Blender is called a viewport, and you change the viewport using your mouse or pressing Shift and mouse. Okay, this here is the sun, this here is the camera, and this is your mesh. These are the three axes, X, Y, and Z axis. Okay. You can control your viewport using this numpad, using your numpad. Like 7, 1, and 3 are the important ones. Like you press 1 and you get the front view of your viewport, 3 for the right view, 7 for the top view. You can also press Shift and mouse both at the same time, so you can drag your viewport. It shifts a bit using Shift right mouse click. You can also use just your mouse, but it only rotates it. So on the top left corner you see something like this. This is the vertex select, this is the border select, this is the face select. You'll see this more in the demo that I will show you afterwards. Whenever you select some objects, you go to object mode and select them. If you want to edit the object, you go to edit mode. For now, we'll only focus on these two. Now, some commonly used keys in Blender. G is for grab. Say you want to move something, you select it and you press G and then move it. S is for scale. That is, you can increase the size or decrease the size pressing S. You can also press S along with axis X, Y, Z so that you can scale them in the particular axis. R is for rotate, obviously. E is for extrude. This is something new. Extrude as in the face grows in a particular direction, the face or the edge, anything that you want, it grows in a particular direction. You can also combine E with S so that you can extrude and scale at the same time. You can also extrude something in the particular axis using X, Y, and Z. I mean, you press E and then you press X. Okay. This is multi-select option. You select something using your mouse, then you press Shift and you can multi-select. Okay, that is pretty common. Okay, so now this will be followed up by a demo on how to make a low poly house. Okay, so if I pinch my mouse pad, the view changes. You can change the view like this. Now we'll go to object mode. Here you can select objects. This is a mesh camera view, and this is the sun. You can click any object, press G, and then move the object. Let's say I select this. I can press G and then move the object. Let's zoom in. After moving an object, I'll go back. I'll now go to edit mode so I can make changes in the particular object. The first one is vertex select. This is the border select. This is the face select. So I'll now select this face and I will now delete this face. Okay. Now I'll select some faces, some borders. I will press shift to multi-select. Okay. Now what I want it to happen is I want to extrude it on the sideways. I'll press E to extrude and S to scale. Cool, right? Okay, now I want it to go downwards, so I'll press extrude in Z direction. Okay. Uh, okay, now I'll. So this is our house. This is the base concrete. I'll add some more concrete to it. E to extrude, X to scale. Okay, some more concrete. Cool. So now I'll select this face and extrude it upwards in the direction. Assuming we have a two-story building. Okay. Now, now. Okay. Now we will make terrace for this. You can move the viewport with pressing shift and two fingers on your mouse pad. See, you can move this. Okay, so let's say I select this face. If I click on E, it can extrude, but I want it to go sideways. So I'll press S. Okay, just a little bit. Now, now we'll make it go upwards using extrude. Okay. Now I want it to, you know, come in. So I'll press I to intersect, and then I'll press E to extrude again in the downward direction. Cool. Now I'll place some chimneys here. So I press Shift A to get a plane. I'll press G to move it somewhere else. Okay. Now let's focus on this for now. So I'll press S to scale it. Okay. I will press E to extrude it. E and S to scale it outward. E again to extrude it. Okay, this looks good. So now I will press L on this, so the entire object gets selected, and I will press S because I want to make it small. So this will be my chimney. I'll press G to grab it and place it somewhere around. Around here. Okay. Now what I will do is I will attach the chimney with my house. So I'll go to object mode. I will select both the objects and join them. I guess it's not needed because we have created them in just one object for now. So let's go to edit mode. Now we'll make a door for our house. So you press Ctrl R, you will get some lines like this. Click on the line. These are like drawable lines. Okay. I press Ctrl R again. Cool. I'll press Ctrl R once again. Okay. So now I will select these edges. My face is selected and I'll extrude it backwards. Okay. Now I will duplicate it with Shift D and scale it and move it. Okay, now we will make a door frame. Let's select these faces using Shift click on this one. Okay, I will press Shift D to duplicate, then S to scale. I'll also press S to scale it in Y direction. Okay, now I will make it come forward with scale in X direction. Okay, now extrude and scale inside. Now I will press G to, sorry, my bad. I'll press L to select the door frame. Press G to move it a bit inside. Looks good. Now I'll press Ctrl R to make something artistic. And here, again Ctrl R. Now I'll select this face and I'll extrude it forward. Okay, so this is our door. So we have a door, we have a chimney. What's missing? We need a window. Okay, so Shift A, take a plane, press G to move it, plus R to rotate it. Okay, it's 90 degrees now. So this button is to rotate, this is to move, this is select cursor. I'll select this and make it a rectangle. Let's say I scale it in the Y direction. That's a window. Scale it a bit so it's small. Okay. Now we will select the edges of this window. Press Shift for multiple select. Extrude it backwards. It's a frontwards. Then we will I for intersect. It goes in. E to extrude again. Okay. In this control R, we get a midline, then again control R, then we select this face and we press E to extrude. Cool. Let's say I copy this, I select this window and move it. Somewhere around here. Scale it a bit. I think that's good. I'll press Shift D to duplicate a window here. G to move it. Okay then. So these about three are modes for lightings. This is a normal, colorful model that you can see. This one's when the sunlight come in. We will now assign colors. So here the you'll see this material option. Let's make it say concrete. How do you spell concrete? I don't know. Okay, let's assign this thing. Let's assign everything as conk. We'll give this as concrete. Okay, now I'll press assign. It's assigned now. I'll give it a base color. I can change the colors. I'll make a new material. House. Assign it. Let's say the color is a bit yellowish. Okay. This got left out. Assign it as house as well. Okay. Now we'll give one more material of, let's say, wood. Give it a color of something like this. I'll now select some wood objects. Assign wood to it. Similarly, I'll select the door frame, assign wood, however you spell it. Door frame is of wood as well. Let's say I have a material as white POP. Let's see how it looks. We have a window missing. I'll make a window object, window material, window. The window would be purplish and roughness would be 0. This is how our building will look. The doors not completed yet, I guess. We could also have a pipe here. Okay, so the video was getting a bit big, so I made this pipe by myself. Okay, I'll just attach it for now. Press L to select, G to move it somewhere around here. Okay, it seems about perfect for now. Let's go into object mode. Okay, I'll save it for now. Now let's open it in our Google Earth. So I'll export this it I'll export this as a dot collada. Okay, so I have written a KML which looks like this: some latitude, longitude, basic scale, href to the DAE file, and you can leave this as it is as well. Take a look if you want to copy this. Then we will compress it as a zip file. Open this in our VS Code again. We will rename this as .kmz. Let's open this .kmz file now. Yeah, it changes color a bit. It also has sunk level down. I can see it. Well, that is because the reference for the ground is this grid, and we have kept our object below it. So I'll select everything, move it above the ground, and then compress them again. Open with code, rename it as KMZ. Okay, now cool. This works what we want it to. Okay, that's it. Okay, now the house has been prepared, and I have also shown you how to export it in .da file and then run it on Google Earth. Steps, I'll recap the steps again. You make the 3D model on Blender, export it as .da file, make a KML file, and use href to link to the exported .da file. Then you zip it, the .da and the KML file. Rename the .zip file to .kmz file. Okay, and then run that .kmz file on your Google Earth Pro. And pretty much that's it. And thank you for being here. I'll be answering your questions in the live stream. Thank you.